Hello, this is Mathew with Leadership Challenges and Supervision. This is the Lesson 5 Leadership Reflection video. For the first prompt, which one of the 4 domains of emotional intelligence described by Daniel Goleman stood out to you the most and why? So I think the one that stood out to me the most was self-awareness, because that's the one that is like the basis to, I thought was the basis to the other domains, because in order for you to be emotionally intelligent, you should be aware of your own feelings and what those feelings could do to other people and how they affect yourself as well. So being aware of yourself and how others are with emotions is something we should all be, well inclined to learn about, and something that we should all have kind of, especially in like the world of management, we should always be self-aware of how we interact with others. Goleman says emotional intelligence is learnable. Do you believe you can grow your own emotional intelligence? Why or why not? Yes, because I do believe you can grow your own emotional intelligence, because, it could be learned through like certain experiences. Sometimes we can go through different emotions, different experiences in life can happen to any of us, and that kind of helps us grow our own emotional intelligence. And also, classes like this, kind of like putting that kind of information forward, I feel like people are always going to be able to learn about emotional intelligence. Number 3, Goleman tells a story about Govan Brown, the bus driver. What does the example teach us about the power of emotional intelligence in everyday life? So when I heard that story from Mr. Goleman, I thought that the way the bus driver always kind of talked to people was kind of interesting. Especially when, sometimes people could be having a bad day, and simple things like that, how's your day, or how's it going, from a stranger can really, help with somebody, who's feeling down. And someone like that can really, have a very huge impact on our emotional state at that point. Something that's just small like that could help us pay it forward, or just feel better about ourselves, about the, something that bad happened that day. You never know. So yeah, I think the story about the bus driver was really taught us more about the power of emotional intelligence. The way he, just directed people on where to get their cheaper suits, or, just asking how their day was, stuff like that. Number 4, think about a time you struggled with one of the emotional intelligence skills, like self-awareness or listening. What happened? What do you do differently now? So, there's a time when my friends were telling me kind of like a difficult story, but I wasn't really like super focused on what they were talking to me about. And, they were asking me questions about it, and, I was like, oh, you got me. I kind of wasn't really listening. So, and it made me feel kind of bad about it, because, it was a story that was kind of, they needed to say to me, So what do I do differently now is I try to just like focus everything on them if it's very important. Like pause the music I'm listening to, pause the video, try to give them the full amount of attention I can give them, so I can better absorb what they're saying and be able to tell them what they said. So yeah. Number 5, what small habit or change will you start practicing to improve your emotional intelligence? How will you hold yourself accountable? So a small habit, I do tend to see that myself is indecisive. It's kind of hard for me to make choices, at least smaller choices, like where to eat next, or just simple choices like that. And the way I'm holding myself accountable is I need to like be more assertive and probably question myself less. So yeah, just be more confident in what I'm choosing is the right choice, and trusting my gut. Thank you.